Now, like I said just before the news, joining me in the studios right now with me, actually, Ekari. Good morning, Ekari.
Morning.
How are you?
I'm good. Are you, Pampa?
I'm great. I was just trying to remember the last time that you were in the studios. And I promise you, the easiest bet I can get to that information is via Facebook, and it's not showing. Do you remember the last time you were in the studios?
Oh, man. 2016. Yeah, somewhere there. No, that was after the competition, the Writer 2016 competition.
That was before that actually announced. That was during that was still when the nominations were just announced. They hadn't announced the winners yet at that time.
Yeah. So that was it must have been like, it must have been like June, July, maybe about a year now.
Anyway, who wants to dwell in the past? Let's look ahead to the future.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the studios. How have you been from then till now as a writer?
I have been good. I have been busy.
Okay.
Since that competition, I found that a lot of writers, aspiring writers, were contacting me through my Facebook page and asking advice about writing and all of that.
So there is a genuine interest in writing.
We are writing, but we are uncertain maybe of how to go about it or how to improve our craft. So I said, you know what, I have an opportunity to step in and design a creative writing workshop.
Okay.
So yeah, that's what I'll be discussing today.
Creative designing workshop?
Creative writing.
Creative writing workshop.
Yes. I myself have benefited from workshops in the past. You get to meet your fellow writers. You also get to meet mentors. And I wanted to start something, at least from
something different.
Yeah.
All right. Talking about meeting your mentors and fellow writers, you're on a certain campaign during that time as well. To one of the people that you think is superior.
That's right.
How did that go for you?
It was very...
Did the meeting finally happen?
It happened. It's on my Facebook page. But yeah, like way down in the archives. But yeah, that was inspiring. There's a lot of value with meeting writers who are at a further ahead than you are. He has a lot of wisdom. He taught me a lot about Malawi and Malawian writing.
Is this a situation where we can say, is it an open book?
Yeah.
What I did there?
Yeah. There you go. Open book. For sure. He's there. He's actually quite easy to get a hold of, quite easy to meet, and very willing to share his knowledge.
All right. Well, there you have it. She's in the studios. We are talking about writing this morning. Right, back to the matter at hand. We're talking to Ekari Mbvundula. She's in the studio right now, and she has some great news. This was like a link that you sent me on Tuesday, was it?
Yeah.
That's how we started building up the story, man. It's been happening throughout the week behind the scenes, and now the day is finally here to break down the details.
Yeah.
Let's get to this workshop. What are you trying to get at in this situation?
Okay, what I am aiming to do is to target writers who have maybe tried to write a few things. Maybe they're not sure. Maybe they've submitted some things and it hasn't been working out. You've been struggling, trying to find out, how to. And yeah, just people who have always been wondering.
Do you have a specific target audience, age group, as far as age group is concerned? Anything along those lines?
Oh, no. What I found out is that there's some people they can, reach all the way to their 50s and be like, okay, I've always wanted to be a writer. Maybe I've been an engineer all this time, and then so really any age group.
From your own experience, what has it been like? Why do you think this is an important thing to venture into?
Because there's the tired old story of Malawi doesn't have a reading culture. We don't have a writing culture. And the thing that those young people reaching out to me told me was that no, actually we do. It's sadly been dormant, and we need to build that up and that comes from building up a passion in writing and a passion in reading.
Do you think it's more of maybe the topics that writers tackle that a lot of people maybe do not necessarily have an interest in? What do you think is the main challenge between the readers and the writers in this case?
The topic is one thing. I think we are moving forward with, you know, we're aware of happening in the rest of the world, and maybe a lot of the writing that is available by Malawians is a lot about, you know, the same things that they've been writing about 20 years ago.
Okay.
There's new stuff coming out, but then that also has its own challenges. Distribution. Spoke to some publishers just the other day. Fiction used to be the #1 selling category.
Okay.
And now it's the lowest.
Worldwide, countrywide?
Countrywide.
Countrywide, okay.
In Malawi, yeah. It used to be the #1 selling category. So now, you know, we have to try and see where, you know, how can we get back to that? Yeah.
Do you know?
I don't. I need to get a hold of that information.
I want to know that information as well.
Like
and yeah.
This year or last year?
You know, but maybe like Oro, which has been the highest selling book altogether, maybe that could also contribute to the time it takes to write a whole book, you know?
Yeah.
And the returns that get after a certain time. Maybe that's what puts off a lot of people as well. But it's very strange to say that Malawians really like to write. When I look at my Facebook, the amounts of stories that are there, the Facebook status, I'm like, wait, whoa.
Exactly.
Maybe you should consider putting this onto a paper somewhere.
We read one book. It's Facebook.
Right there. Right there. So how do you intend to achieve this? Are you looking for people to contact you? Do you have a platform that you get these people to find you at?
Yeah. The central place for that information is my blog, which is www.ekarywrites.com.
Okay, Ekari Writes.
Yeah.
Okay.
All the details are there, the emails and stuff like that, as well as what you're required to do. If I can get into the requirements for you to apply.
Yeah, get it.
So I would like to see a 300-word sample of your fiction. It doesn't have to be a full, complete story, just a 300-word sample, and that would be by the 19th of May.
Okay.
So if this 300 words sample is accepted, then you'll be invited to the workshop, which is happening on the 3rd and 4th of June.
This is open to everyone in the country.
Yeah.
Not specifically Blantyre residents.
If you can get to Blantyre, the workshop is happening at the hub in Blantyre.
Okay.
So that's on the 3rd and 4th of June. And if you can get to Blantyre, then great. You're welcome to come.
All right. Now, the last time that you were in the studios, we were speaking about a novel that you were writing. Update on that one? Spill the beans!
I have written about 50,000 words since, and I am the process is going writing consistently, you know, every day. I'm seeing, you know, more clearly where it's going, but you know, it's like a cake in an oven. You can't just open the oven in the middle of
Do we really need to go there again? Do we really? All right. So do you still have a set time frame for it to release, or you're just letting your creative side?
I'm letting the muse tell me when, like the part that inspires me.
Which doesn't necessarily mean that you aren't writing other stories.
I am writing other stories. In fact, there's a short story coming up soon. I'm not going to say too much about it, but back on Omin, they've accepted a new story of mine within the next month.
What was the last story? Okay.
Yeah, we
on the show as well.
Yes.
All right. Great stuff. Now, a lot of people would associate, a lot of young people, I'll say, would not necessarily associate with writing, or feel like writing is something for maybe the older generation because it is not as tech savvy or something along that.
Well, guess why? Guess why it's not tech savvy?
Okay.
Because young people are not writing, are not putting their stuff out there.
All right.
So young people need to write so that young people can read.
How would you introduce? Because I do agree with you to an extent that there is that problem with between the writing and reading culture in the country. But what can be done to reintroduce or to bring the excitement back so that people just read?
I'm looking into that, and yeah, you mentioned the tech savvy thing. Bringing in technology is definitely a big part of it. We need to create something that will make it easy to access stories on our same device. So marketing, we need to get our story support. To a certain extent, we need to provide.
If you were to set a target to any changes in the country as far as rice is concerned, where would you put that target at?
Changes.
Yeah, like the results of the workshops that you're going to run, the excitement getting back to schools, young people.
Yeah.
People reading.
I am actually approaching schools as well, but as soon as possible, honestly, because we are sadly behind with our counterparts in East Africa, West Africa. Even Zimbabwe and South Africa are really full steam ahead with the writing and reading. So we have a lot of work to do, and in a short time, and young people are the best, the ones primed to do that.
Now, we were just off air earlier, we were also talking about some awards that will be happening with some Malawians also shortlisted for that.
Yeah, that is exciting stuff.
Okay.
There is an awards called the NOMO Awards.
Okay.
NOMMO. So
Okay.
that's the NOMO Awards. This is going to be the first year that it's going to be set up. It's sorted out. It's organized by Africans for Africans. So we have representatives from all over Africa, including Malawi.
Okay.
And nominations, requests for nominations went out, and 3 days ago, the nominees were announced. We have no shorter than 2 of our Malawian writers nominated in the category of Best Novel and Best Novella, and that is Shadrach Chikoti for Azotus the Kingdom, and Muti Tlema for the Best Novella. That's Tao River.
Okay.
He was also in a competition before the one I was in.
Okay.
It's about Nelson Mandela in the future, and it's got time travel, and it's really cool. So basically,
Nelson Mandela in the Matrix. What?
Something like that. It's the futuristic and things. So yeah, that award is for speculative fiction. So that's sci-fi, fantasy, strictly.
Okay.
So yeah. I'm glad that that's being honored like that. I myself was in the long list.
From an African perspective, sci-fi is pretty something that we are not really used to,
You'll be surprised. we're a lot of our surrounding countries are really getting into the sci-fi. Afrofuturism, they call it.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's just for us Malawi just to catch up and to bring our own flavor into it.
Oh man, let's hope we do that sooner rather than later. All right, anything else you'd like to add on top of this?
Okay, well, as coming back to the workshop, I would say there are a couple of perks. The first,
everybody loves perks.
Perks, yeah. The first 5 successful applicants will get a free copy of Imagine Africa 500. So now that's the sci-fi anthology that was released last year. Also, steered by Shadrach Chikoti.
Okay.
We've got short stories by a lot of Malawians and also some African writers from the rest of Africa as well. So it's really a good read. If you can be one of the first 5 applicants, then you can get your free copy. Also, the best short story, because after the workshop we want everyone to finish their short stories. Best 3 short stories. So
will they continue the same ones that they use for the application in this case?
You can, but yeah, we'll work it out in the workshop. But what I was getting at was the best 3 short stories that we finish, 4 pages long, will be illustrated free of charge.
Okay.
And I'll organize that. So if you like to see your story with beautiful illustrations, yeah, do your best.
Keyword right there.
Do your best.
All right. Just one more thing before we call it quits. Just how do people get to register, and how do people get that information? Just break down those details one more time.
Okay, so www.ekarirights.com. That's where all the information is. You can also go to my Facebook page, Ekari Mbvundula the writer.
Okay.
Everything is there.
Just make sure there's your personal one and the one for the writer here.
Ekari Mbvundula the writer is the one that...
Just to be sure.
Yeah. So we're almost at 1,000 likes on that page. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Hoping for 1 million by the end of the year.
Whoop, whoop.
Hopefully so. All right. Thanks for coming into the studio, Ekari.
Yeah.
It's been wonderful to have you again. Let's keep the date this time around for reference next time.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Great.
And wishing you all the best for that. I'm hoping that maybe the next time we actually have a young writer in the studio talking about how that workshop helped them out.
I hope so.
All right. Other than that, thanks for coming into the studios once again. We're still waiting for that novel.
Okay.
Still waiting for that novel.
It's coming.
Just saying it like it is. All right.